This is the final version. This is the version we have built until this stage. Well, the unique difference that I can see until now is that this is right here at the top, right? This is more down. So this should have been fixed. The problem is here we defined it 1 rem, while this is not 1 rem, it's simply 1. Okay, saving here. This should fix. Let's see. Very good. Now at the same position, when we hover, we have this red color we don't have here, so we can simply make that happen. This is simply to come here and say, when we hover, we have the color set to color red, and that's done. We're gonna start making the things happen automatically right here when we simply, oh, I don't have the color. Why? When I simply click here, I should see the blur gone and the pop-up content gone. And when I click, the blur comes and the pop-up content also comes in place. How are we going to do that? Let me also add a transition right here. Think with me. Well, we're gonna take advantage of a pseudo class that is target. When we target the pop-up itself, we must make sure that the pop-up comes in, and when it's not, we must make sure that its visibility is going to be set to hidden. So let me put here visibility, and opacity goes to 0. If I go there right now, I won't see that blur here in place. What I'm going to do is to make sure that every time we target this, we're gonna have an opacity set to 1 and visibility back to visible. Now you can't even see the pop-up content because how this was invisible. The pop-up content is a child of the pop-up, therefore you can see the images and much stuff that we have defined. How are we going to target this? We're going to make use of links, because with links we can target a specific part, and this is euros at this time. Then we simply have to come up and find the model, which is this Lamborghini Urus. In our section of models, go to your second model, which is Lamborghini Urus. The image is gonna be between a anchor tag, and this anchor tag is gonna take us to Popup Urus. Make sure that you surround your image with this anchor tag. I'm going to be making the same for the next one. So here I have Popup Urus. I'm going to hide. This one is for my GLE, so I'm going to say Popup GLE. Paste here, nice. Next model is the Range Rover Velar, so I'm going to say Popup. I simply copied this. I'm going to say Popup Velar. You simply have to give a tab right here, Control V. Next is Tacoma, so you're gonna say, okay, Popup Tacoma already is here. Okay, why do we already have the Popup Tacoma set here? That's because if you remember, we have copied this Tacoma from the last version of our project. Then you have Popup Cherokee, make sure that you have there, and the last one is, let me see, is Lexus. Let's make sure that we have saved this CSS. It's reloading. and yes, it's here. Here we have, it's showing up, and when we click exit, it's showing us the top models. When we click GLE, nothing is happening simply because we don't have the pop-up set for the GLE. Let's add this animation. You can see that this pop-up is coming here to you. For that, we can simply make a small formatting to the target content. Our content is gonna have opacity of 1, very good. And let's make it translate minus 50% vertically, I mean on the horizontal, and minus 50 on the vertical, then scale to 1 and go up, remove the scale, make it be a little smaller so that we see that transforming happening. Transform, I'm going to say translate. I can even place on the same, and minus 50%. I'm going to put the scale to be 0.5. It's gonna be this one. Transition, I'm going to make it come to the center right after it scales up. So I'm going to put all, but delay first the translate property to be some 0.3 seconds and make the scale be much faster. This should give us that animation. So we have to save and see if it's going to happen or not. Here we are. Let's click. I still can't see, so let me refresh. Oh, what's this here? What is this here? Okay, it's on the wrong place. I don't know what's happening. Maybe I wrote wrongly a property right here with the value minus 50%, transform, translate minus 50%, minus 50%, scale at this amount. Okay, this is not a problem. This is a problem, yes, because the transform can't be right here. This must be applied just inside of the content, not the pop-up. So let me save and see if the problem persists. No, but I can't feel that animation. That's so bad. Let me make sure that, okay, 1 second, it's missing here. Let me give a 5. Yeah, now it's nice. Nice, very good. What's missing here is simply to copy this and go ahead, change some values. We started with the Lamborghini Euros. Now we're going to make sure that we take this pop-up, copy, paste right here. The first model is GLE. So I'm going to say GLE. Here we have to write. I really don't like this work of having to write things. I'm going to simply say GLE. Pop-up image, nice. GLE has how many images? Let me go to the folder here and see the image. Okay, I've already seen the image. It's 2022. GLE 2022 1DR, and this one is GLE 35DR. This is not by these euros now. This is the type of work that I don't really like to keep doing because it's so easy. Let's check our GLE. GLE doesn't have the text right here, so we have to format in order to have that background video. How are we going to do that? I can leave for you as a challenge. You just have to pause the video, otherwise come with me. Okay, we have the right section models and our pop-up text right here. We have to obviously remove what is our text. And we can simply bring the background video. Let's go to our header. We have this element, which is this background video, is our component right here. We're gonna be reusing. After this H2, let's put that background video. The source is Popup GLE. The video is this one. You know that the parent element of a background video needs to be with a relative position. So let's make sure that, okay, it's relative, the right, that's true. Let's save and see what this is gonna give us in the GLE. Here we are going to increase the margin between this text and the bottom. For that, I'm actually gonna be making something much interesting. Define the margin of 15 rem and create a class here where I'm going to say it's for those who don't have wide margin, no wide margin, and I'm going to say that margin bottom is going to be 2 rem that we had. No wide margin bottom. I'm going to apply this class just for the pop-ups that don't have wide margin bottom. For example, the euros, because in our euros we are going to have 2 rems of margin. U margin bottom small. I can put U with no margin bottom of 2 rem. But let me actually consult my variables right here. I don't have something like that, 2 rems, but no. If we apply through our utilities, that's what I meant, what's going to happen is that it's going to receive this 15 because it's going to be more specific. So at this level, it's okay. No wide margin bottom. Let's place just through that Lamborghini euros. Our GLE is not going to have the class no wide margin bottom because we want to make sure that its margin bottom is so high in order to shift the rest of the content. Okay, here we have, and we don't want to keep this text right here because we want to have very good. But just to leave something here, I'm going to say NBSP and save. Now it's better. We have for our GLE, what we need to do is simply keep duplicating this, and this is something that I really don't like to do, duplications and simple changes. After our euros, we have the pop-up for, let me see, exit velar. Okay, I'm going to open the folder here in my mobile phone so that I can see the name of the images. This is inside of the velar. Here we have velar. velar. Well, this work is intensive for me. What I'm going to do is pause the video and make by myself, then I'm going to show you. Now I'm back. I have completed that boring task of copying and pasting and just making some small changes. Here I'm going to show you what is the result. I have the pop-up GLE. How GLE doesn't have the absence of that white margin button because you have background video. You simply put non-break space just to give some space and leave the H2 here existing. Next, I have the UROS. Here is the code, so make sure that your code is the same as mine. Velar, here I have Tacoma, you can see Cherokee is here. Finally, our Lexus is here. I'm going to simply collapse this because I don't really like to stay with a huge amount of lines of code in front of me. And it's done. Did you see how it was to implement the pop-up? Here we have. Now you know how to do these cool effects. Nice. And I'm happy just by knowing that you are moving from a complete zero to know how to make this stuff work. What's missing here is this menu, and it's just a bit complex. Let's move to the next lesson.